Hey, this is Big J. Okerson, and you're listening. That's hilarious. Hey, this is Big J. Okerson, and you're listening to Laugh or Else Radio. I don't know what the else is, but I'm looking at this guy, and it's probably involving butt stuff.
The following feature has been rated R by
Timmer
LOERadio.
Parental guidance is suggested. It is intended for mature audiences, and parental discretion is advised.
If you're offended by any word in any language, it's probably because your parents were unfit to raise a child. You better smoke another blunt.
Welcome.
This is Laugh or Else.
Laugh or Else.
Your host,
I know I'm a stud.
LOERadio.
Makes your farts smell like you're a cannibal. That had to be some vile poop. It must have smelled like he needed surgery.
For the next 2 hours, you are invited to take part in a terrestrial radio experience unlike any other found on commercial radio.
He probably lost his job at the glory hole.
You are hereby challenged to laugh or else.
You like yogurt?
Oh my God.
You're gonna love this. Vagina yogurt.
Our mission, which we have all selflessly accepted, is to exploit that raw emotion that solicits a deviant smile and induces inappropriate laughter. Welcome to the Laugh or Else radio show on 89.3 WNUR-FM.
Welcome aboard. It's the Laugh or Else radio show here at WNUR-FM. I don't know what the hell that is playing in the background, but it's ruining this music.
It's like Michael Myers is getting down now. This is like the Michael Myers remix right here. Is this what Michael Myers? Is this the other lost episode? When he visited like the Boys Town or something, or what?
The Boys Club, what?
Boys Town, or is that like the poppy little Michael Myers remix? Is that what that is?
I wouldn't know, Jay. I stay away from Halstead Avenue.
I know you do, man. Well, I stopped by for the Mexican food, man. It's got good places late night.
What's going on? It's the Laugh or Else radio show here at WNUR-FM. In studio with me is the mixologist Jay Sell.
Yes, we are here. Thank you, Timmer. Hello to you, Alexandra.
And we have a special guest who's been on the phone, and she came and chatted up Jay one episode, Miss Alexandra Sukhoy.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Is that how you say your last name, or is there
yes,
a more?
And you guys can call me Alex. It's cool.
All right, we got to tune up her mic a little bit. I think a little more.
Just give me one more vocal there,
you
Alex.
Can call me Alex.
Woo.
Well, that sounds nice. That's what we've been missing on the show, man. We've been missing the female perspective.
Yeah.
You know, I've been saying this. We obviously still miss our coach, their show, former alumni, and Megabeth and the Zohan. But,
who are still getting extended love with the old intro.
They are, and they know we love them, man. They do their thing, man, and we love them, man. Those girls are awesome. So
absolutely.
But
so
we have you and I and the young lady here that's going to be helping us out to try to put this little show together for the next couple hours.
For those who are just tuning in, Alex is a author and a career coach. Her latest book is Date Your Career, Longest Relationship of Your Life. You can find it on Amazon and other book depository outlets. Alex, your book's been out for a while. What can you say about it? How's the reception been so far?
Well, first of all, gentlemen, thanks so much for having me here in the studio, especially on Halloween weekend.
Thank you.
And also thank you for promoting this book. When I first got here back to Chicago, I called in, you gave me a lot of promotion, and I just want to say thank you. Because I really believe that local talent should help promote local talent.
Hey,
so
no
first
problem.
and foremost, big shout out thanks to you. And also, we had a really great turnout at my friend Howard Woodmiller's Cafe and Pub, Nighttown Cafe, or Nighthawk Cafe, I should say.
Right off of Kimball there, is that right?
Yes, and Lawrence.
Kimball and Lawrence, that is correct.
Logan Square.
Yes, we had a great turnout. We had a great reading, and what I really loved is that after there was some reading, I did some reading, and then Brian Seha, who contributed to the book, he read. What was wonderful is I saw friends, I saw family, I saw people I went to high school with, and literally everybody just walked around the room and shared their own stories of great bosses and terrible bosses. And there were libations because we were at a pub. And so people were just very forthright about their experiences, good and bad, and how it led them to this specific spot in their career. So I just really love the community element of that event. So I couldn't be more grateful to you guys. I couldn't be more grateful to Nighthawk and Howard. And I couldn't be more grateful for all the family and friends who came out, the people who purchased the book. We had a great book signing afterwards, and people continue to purchase it. So I'm really grateful to everyone who really wants to make a difference in their career and has picked up a copy.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that everything's been so positive for you so far. If you'd like to reach out and ask Alex some questions, you can do so. The area code and phone number is 847-866-9687. Again, the number is area code 847-866-WNUR.
I'm standing by right in front of the phone, so I will be taking your calls.
Jay is manning the phone, and if you don't have nothing to say, he's going to hang up on you. So
that's right. Or if you could tell us how good we're doing or how bad I suck, it's okay.
That's right.
But I made it here, which is more important, in one piece, and I did not cause any disturbances on either of the roads that I took, so that's all I got to say.
That you know about.
That I know about, yes.
Jay, thanks for being here.
Hey, come on, man. You know I was going to be here.
So I was off last week, but Jay and Pete
Rizzo.
Mr. Pete Rizzo.
R-I-Z-Z-O there, jerky.
Rizzo, wrap your head up with a ratchet,
That's
jerk.
right there.
And apparently things went well, Jay.
Yes, they did. No, I didn't call before. Do you recognize the voice?
No.
Yes, no. We had a good show. Same thing, man. We had our man Terry here, man, behind the glass helping us out. But we put it together. We had some good callers. Kind of did a 50-50 thing in honor and homage of you, sir. We did our little local news. We did some other things going on in the media. And then we also did some good sports because Mr. Rizzo has a very extensive background in the professional football news and happenings as well as college. So he's going to be joining us later on. I mean, he's going to be joining us another time if that's all right with you, Timmer.
Yeah, no problem. I wish I would have been here. Unfortunately, I had vehicular issues that prevented me from traveling. I've since recovered.
So you watch when you say that word, man, because I just said vehicular. I was expecting to hear like manslaughter or something like that coming after.
No.
I thought you snapped and went all like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers on your employer or something.
Or the Jenner, or the Bruce Jenner.
I don't know about, about that, right?
What's his name now? I can't remember.
Caitlin.
That's right.
Caitlin, yeah.
So I'm glad to hear it. Pete's welcome anytime on the show, man.
That's right. If you're listening, Mr. Rizzo, you come on anytime there, tough guy.
The thing is, though, I can't talk that much sports. You know,
I know.
I can only do some face value type stuff.
But I can, and he can too.
Yeah,
so.
That's great. And you guys should probably start your own show after ours. Here on WNUR.
Maybe.
Janet Jackson was in town.
Yes, she
rocking
was.
the Allstate Arena.
Yes, she
and
was.
she was seen perusing a bar in the Logan Square area afterwards.
Was she now?
That's right.
Where? She's 50 years old and she's got twins now, man.
She's pregnant.
Again?
Wow.
Is she?
Or did she have her twins?
She already had her babies, I thought.
I
That's the reason that she had to delay originally her
tour?
her show, yeah, because she had babies.
Wouldn't you go out and have a celebratory drink afterward?
No, if I was 50 years old with twins, man, I'd be at home taking care of them, man, changing diapers and feeding them.
Yeah, but after you get all hyped up at a concert? Come on.
Maybe. Well, then again, she's been doing it. I did get a chance to see her many years ago. But I mean, I figure I'm surprised that she was there. I mean, if she was, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's some
I'd
good stuff.
toast to some Rhythm Nation with her.
She's awesome. She did the up close and personal tour when I was there, maybe about 7-8 years ago at the Chicago Theater, so a smaller venue. Chicago Theater, not a bad seat in the house. She did all of her classic hits, from everywhere from the Rhythm Nation album to the self-titled Janet album to the Velvet Rope. Everything in between, and it was incredible, man. What a show.
Sounds like you're a legit fan.
I love her music, man. She's one of the ones that I can say that I like most of her stuff. Her, Madonna, maybe like Mariah. Old Mariah, not crazy new, self-loathing Mariah, not her. But other stuff, yeah.
Mariah.
Even the late and great Whitney Houston, I loved her work, too. I was such a fan of Whitney.
Yeah.
That beautiful voice of hers. Of course, you guys remember her rendition of the Star-Spangled... help me out here. The Star-Spangled Banner, yes, at the Super Bowl is still probably one of the best renditions ever made.
Probably.
Yes.
I
think so. That's my
She
opinion.
had a powerful voice.
She had a beautiful voice. And then she met the cokehead that is Bobby Brown and just went to crap.
Yeah, probably.
Right, so
yeah,
cocaine is a hell of a drug, baby.
Her poor kid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a curse.
Also out in the world happenings, a 14-year-old Russian model had died after suffering from, quote, utter exhaustion during a 3-month modeling assignment in China.
Oh, man.
Vlada Zuba collapsed into a coma after a grueling 12-hour fashion show in Shanghai. Damn.
That's bad.
Yeah, she's only 14.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it.
What are you doing making her model for 12 hours straight?
Well, she's got, a good 10, 12 years to basically make as much money as she can and get as much exposure.
Yeah.
Start them early, man.
Don't forget the options for Russian women are very limited in this country.
Yeah.
Yes. It's either that or marry some old rich guy here in the Midwest.
Or be an assassin in the mafia.
That'd be cool, though, man. I'd love to see that. Then I would have her be an assassin, then I'd marry her because she'd
What
protect
they call
me.
them, the Black Swan.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
Like that.
Nikita?
La Femme
Nikita.
That was a good-ass movie.
Well, the two versions they made. The original version and the one with, was it Fonda's niece?
Kilmer?
No, it was Fonda's niece. Bridget. Bridget Fonda.
That's right, yeah. Fonda whose niece?
Jane Fonda and
Henry
Fonda. Yeah.
Peter Fonda, Henry Fonda.
The whole Fonda family,
There's
man.
too many Fondas.
That's right. What's the movie they collaborated on? One of my favorite movies from the 80s.
On
Golden Pond. Thank you.
What's
on
that
Golden
about?
Pond.
I've never heard of it.
It's a beautiful story. It's about family. It's about everything. It's about the trials and tribulations of a family, and they distance themselves. And it's one of those stories, man. It's one of those stories at coming of age, I feel. What would you say?
I think it was also a bonding experience for father and daughter because I think they've had a very tumultuous relationship throughout their life. So I think it was a very emotional project for both of them when they filmed it.
Yeah. Absolutely agree. It's one of those movies where you have legendary actors in different decades from the same family, mind you.
Right, and I think he passed right after that.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
That is right. It reminds me of what's the movie? The great movie. One of his last performances, Jackie Gleason, the movie that he did with Tom Hanks. I want to say it was partially filmed in Chicago.
Yeah.
Nothing in Common.
That was a great movie.
That was a really good movie.
It was a
Young
comedy
Tom
with
Hanks.
heart.
Yes, yes, and those are my favorite. Like I said, it's one of those like if I shed a tear and you make me feel something.
That was one of the
I will watch
first
it again.
Tom Hanks movies I remember thinking that he had range as an actor.
Yes,
because before that it was like Money Pit and
Bachelor Party. Yeah, that's still the best. That was still the best, dude.
I love that movie.
Hey, did anybody order an a-hole from room service?
You mean in Bosom Buddies? You didn't think?
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Him and I forget his counterpart, man, the shorter guy. They were great.
Yeah, he ended up playing the father in Girls.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's really good call, Alexandra. That's right. He played the father in Girls. That's right. Such a good movie. And that had oh my God, man. That's talk about classic Tom Hanks with all those comedies. But man, from go to that to be a great dramatic actor, probably one of the best of all time now. When you think about everything that he's done in his
He
career,
was like one of the first people who went in drag on television
yes.
on a regular basis.
Yes, that's true. That is also true. Breaking barriers.
So, some morbid news out of Hollywood as Harvey Weinstein was inducted into the Hall of Fame of molestation.
Yes, he was.
Actresses from Gwyneth Paltrow to
Mira Sorvino.
Yeah, have all come out with statements. Meanwhile, the big one
Rose McGowan
is the golden-haired angel that always wins at the Academy Awards. It's always
Jane Fonda. Oh, not Jane Fonda. Excuse me.
No, Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
Yes.
Still defends him though. Like just won't say nothing to.
Is she really defending him, though?
Yeah, she's not condemning him at all.
Well, Michael Jackson had defenders until the day that he passed. I mean,
but there's no solid evidence that he's ever diddled any kids.
I mean, yeah.
He's paid out some allegations, but that's about it.
But, we talked about this, Alexandra. Remember that? We've been chatting about this. Of course, you know about Tutu Timber. You saw the Corey Feldman coming up in the news again. Not for his special music abilities.
No, he's asking for $10 million for a movie to oust some pedophiles. Meanwhile, instead of just naming who they are, kids are still getting...
Right.
You know, in those situations.
Well, he's been talking about it for a
10
while.
years at least, you know, and everywhere he goes.
Barbara Walters was slamming him. She's saying, you're insulting the entire industry. And he's like, I'm just telling you how it is.
The one story that'll stick out that I won't forget because it ties into somebody that's been a huge comedic star, an overall movie star and TV star, is Charlie Sheen having very inappropriate relationship with him on the set of Lucas to pointing the finger at Sheen saying, yeah, buddy, that HIV that you got is not necessarily through heterosexual sex, my friend. And that was very well known that they had a circle of the Brat Pack, that kind of era guys.
Wait, he was accusing Chucky of being gay?
He was choosing that he actually had an inappropriate relationship. was Corey Haim. That came out that he actually had a sexual relation with an underage Corey Haim, because I want to say that Charlie Sheen was about 18 when that movie was filmed, which was set in Chicago again.
Oh, he was younger than that. He was like 15.
Maybe,
Right.
but he was, and that was one story that came out, because he was like, okay, welcome to the club, pretty boy, and that's how they would basically, they would introduce him to the young
You
actors
get
club.
sexed into the guild.
Basically, when you
And
think
know what?
about that, yeah.
I've met Emilio Estevez and I've met Martin Sheen. I've met both of them.
Really?
And they could not be any more nicer.
But Emilio's never had any controversy, has he?
No, so it's like, how do
The Mighty Ducks coach.
Maybe making a Men at Work movie. I don't know.
Right, they were actually on tour. Father and son, they made a movie together, and they were touring across the country, and they were promoting it. And I got to see the movie. I got to talk to them, meet with them.
Nice.
And they are just these down to earth, nothing at all like the other brother, like nothing, like 180.
Right.
Well, aren't they from different mamas or different daddies?
No, they're both Estevez, man. That's Carlos Estevez is Charlie Sheen. Emilio Estevez is his name because Martin Sheen made it with the Sheen last name because he didn't want to get
Exactly.
typecast as a Latino/Hispanic actor only. And he's been not only a great actor, but he's also been sort of
An advocate.
An advocate, thank you. He's done a lot and everything for civil rights. I want to say that
Yep.
he probably marched alongside and behind Martin Luther King and other individuals, and he's done some really good things in
And
that
they're from
era.
the Midwest.
They are.
They're from Ohio. So, yeah, it's interesting how you always get like the one
Right.
wild apple that comes from a
The-
healthy
the one-
tree.
Yes. The other story that comes out, too, is I can't remember the actor's name, but you're a horror movie fan, Timber. You'll know the Oddball Nightmare on Elm Street, the Oddball Friday the 13th movie, the one where it wasn't even Jason. Remember that? It was the ambulance driver that goes crazy, puts on the hockey mask.
Yeah.
The chubby kid, the chubby slow kid in that movie ended up being a Hollywood producer that was the sole reason that got Corey Haim involved in drugs and all that, because he was he was raped by him allegedly.
I heard.
And Corey Feldman basically walked him right to his door, to his probably his trailer door, and let him have it. Threw him right into the shark, the shark tank.
Threw him to the wolves.
Basically, and that's the reason that Corey Feldman did not attend the funeral. Don't believe the hype about it was too much pain. That the family said, we don't want you here, man. You were basically hands down the reason the guy that that the son came out the way that he did, man, dying of pneumonia from all the complications of all the drugs that he took throughout the years and how unhealthy he had treated his body like a petri dish.
Do you think the truth is ever really going to come out from this whole Hollywood
Which is
situation?
sad. Which is
No.
really sad.
They're
Do you
just
think we're
gonna
ever
bury
really
it.
going to know the truth
More
of what's been
cover-ups, right?
happening?
No,
with-
because they got the money and the power to just hide it and bury
of course.
You think this is
Yeah.
all limited to just Hollywood right now?
it.
Well,
No,
music
absolutely
industry's
not.
next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, music industry's next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Music, TV,
Military,
wow.
college campuses,
It's
Washington,
getting-
D.C.
As you know, as the
Corporate
hashtag,
America.
the Me Too hashtag circulates, so
Right.
do the new stories come around.
What's that? The one that they spoofed on South Park. That's Nambla. Is that what I'm? Is that right?
The Man Boy Love Association.
That's disgusting. Not only is it disgusting, but it's a real thing. It seems like.
Yeah.
And you're rich and in power. You have nothing else to do. You have that sick mind.
Well, you
that
heard,
you have all. You could do what you want to do. You think you could do what you want to do and be unscathed about it.
You heard the Vegas shooter, his older brother got
Yup,
arrested.
I did hear that. Talk about a heck of a family there, man.
Yeah.
Imagine the pride and joy of those parents and stuff, raising not only a mass
Well,
murderer but
his-
a pedophile.
And his daddy was a bank robber. So.
Oh, there we look at it. It's all in the family. What was Mama, man?
Right,
Mom
well,
waiting in the truck?
Wasn't his dad like on some massive like FBI list or CIA
Yeah.
list?
Yeah, I guess he was on the run or whatever for a long time.
Right.
Right.
But also,
Donald Trump called him a proud American.
George Bush Sr. was also a runner-up.
Uncle George.
Yeah.
He also made news about groping some young ladies.
Oh, HW. What did you do there, sir?
Apparently, he's got this joke that he tells when he gathers for a picture with a bunch of young ladies, where he says, "Who's my? Guess who my favorite magician is? David Copperfield." And he grabs a handful of cheek.
Yo,
and then they snapped a
yeah.
photo. There's an actual photo where he's in a wheelchair grabbing this girl's ass.
Wow.
And the stories
wow,
come
I
out.
don't mean to laugh, but holy
No,
smokes.
yeah. And then the stories come out that he's done this for a long time because the two incidents were about a decade apart. And then, you got the people on one side defending him. Oh, he's just a crazy old codger. He's losing his mind in his old age. But I'm sure he's fully aware that he's smiling for a photograph.
You know what his famous catchphrase, right? What he told every girl after he groped them to
What?
not say a thing. He's like, "Read my lips.
No new taxes.
Don't say shit." Sorry.
oh,
Hello.
oh,
Yo. That was me.
7 seconds.
The faux pas. My first faux pas
Man, Jay.
of the show. Yes, we're here. We're live. Yes, we are. We are.
All right. So what else is going on? Facebook announces that they will publicly name all of the purchasers of political ads moving forward. I don't know if this is a good idea, and I'm really
What
starting
does
to...
that do, though, about our current election?
Well, this is in the heels of Facebook finding out that Russia had spent a number of dollars on some political ads during the campaign race. And they didn't favor one person or the other. They were there to just confuse people. So Facebook kind of withheld this information until now, which is a big deal. Facebook, if you had this information, why weren't you saying it then?
Yeah, why aren't you saying that, Facebook?
Right.
What's up with that Zuckerberger?
Yeah, Zuckerberg with cheese. So I'm really disliking Facebook as of lately. Twitter's got to go. I think there needs to be a new platform where we just need to get away from all this commercial nonsense.
Well, here's my question. Where was the concern where, 3, 4, 5 years ago when a bunch of Russians invested into Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking to my MBA students going, is nobody concerned about this? The internet was actually created, post-World War II as safety and protection against our enemies. So it's kind of invented against the Russians and all that. And then suddenly the Russians are the biggest investors. And then they infiltrate and then allegedly have, altered our election. So interesting time. Where was the panic button when all that happened? When the Russians wrote a big check to Facebook?
Yeah, where was Facebook saying, "Hey, look, the Russians are meddling. Here's proof." It wasn't there, but all of a sudden it's now convenient.
I know money's a powerful thing.
Yeah, so is advertiser dollars.
Root of all evil. Not the advertiser dollars. If you want to advertise on our show, please call us here at the station.
No, we can't accept advertisers, Jay.
Okay.
No, that's why we do fundraisers once a year.
All right. Please fund this station. And, yeah.
When we have the phone-a-thon, please make sure you call and donate to WNUR-FM.
That's right.
What else? An Idaho mother drives herself and her 3 children off a cliff.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God.
It's horrible.
Yeah, man.
That's horrible.
It's completely horrible. I don't know what drives a woman to take the lives of herself as well as her children, but it must have been very desperate.
My guess is there are probably signs. I mean, parenthood is hard. I can tell you firsthand, parenthood is tough.
Sure.
And
I had a mom and dad.
and here you are, and
Yeah.
here we all are. But if, it's probably never the first sign.
No.
When you get to that point, that's not the first sign. That's
Well, and who's to say drugs weren't involved either, She might have had some sort of problem with
depression or medication or
opioids.
self-medication.
Right, because we did declare an opioid crisis this week. Apparently, too many people are on the pills these days, and they're just going to go after pill users rather than pill distributors.
Well, actually, the county that I was living in Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, just this week announced that the county is taking, I think, 4 major pharmaceutical companies and distributors all to court over what they've been doing.
That's we'll see what happens, because they've got warehouses full of lawyers that can fight for them. Meanwhile, where would the tax money come from to defend the state side of that argument?
Right. And I just actually read up on this before I got here. The lawyer said that they won't take any money until the trial is done. And then if they win, then they will take a cut. But they're not charging the county for any funds to do this right now.
In a remarkable split decision, the House of Representatives voted on a bill earlier that would allow consumers to take credit companies to task for wrongdoing. In the split decision, Mike Pence voted no and gave all the perks to the credit companies, saying that mandatory arbitration is what you'll have to go through rather than class action lawsuits. Where if a class action lawsuit is like, remember classmates.com or something, where they had like if all your information was stolen or something. Well,
I joined that just to get back at the girl that never, asked me out to prom or something.
We can use Equifax as a better example.
Okay.
140 million people could have signed up for a class action lawsuit had this went through. And now they can't. They're all just going to have to settle for arbitration, where it's like, here's $100 for your troubles. Get the hell out of here. What else? The White House has released the last 1% of classified documents regarding the Kennedy assassination, and there's no shortage of new questions being asked. One document has a direct quote from Lyndon Johnson stating, "We need to make the public believe Oswald is the real killer."
Yo.
Why would he say that? Why would he say that if everybody knows Oswald's the killer?
Right.
And finally, Eminem had blasted Trump in his supporters in a BET cipher.
I remember
which
that.
Went around for about 2 weeks. And
Yes.
I don't know. I think Eminem's lost a lot of his edge. He's just rapping about politics now, which is, I mean, it's not what made him famous.
He used to be rapping about weed and Xanax, remember?
Yeah,
And
drugs,
how good he was
gay
and stuff,
people,
right?
yeah. Everything.
Well, doesn't he have a daughter in college now?
Yeah. Little Haley, right? She's all grown up, man.
Right.
Pretty young lady, absolutely. He had this tumultuous relationship with his mom, with his ex Kim, all that. I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
He put it out there, so.
Well, he's being a dad.
Yeah.
But he still looks the same. What was the show that you turned me on to, Alexandra? The Defiant one. Yeah. You thought about that, Tim?
Brilliant.
No.
Defiant HBO, basically.
Oh, yeah, with where they had
Dr. Dre, and then was it Jimmy Lowen? Was it
Jimmy Iovine?
Jimmy, yeah. What a great documentary, man.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's like the best career lesson of your life, the best
very
business
good.
lesson of your life,
Absolutely.
the best creativity lesson of your life, and the best music lesson of your life.
Alex would know. She's the career coach of the room.
Well, thank you.
But it's very entertaining, man. Talk about Dr. Dre and the roots of his musical just genius, basically, man.
No, and it's also just really well done. So it's not just the story of these two incredible men who should have never met, whose paths should have never crossed.
Right.
It's not just about that arc of like the great American dream of coming from nowhere, going against the odds, getting recognized, almost losing everything, and then coming back and then just skyrocketing. Because that's the arc, that whole behind the music arc.
Yes.
That's the great American success story. But it's also how it's produced and how it's made. Just the way it was crafted was like really perfection. The director of this film just nailed it in terms of crafting a compelling arc in a documentary. Which
I thought it was like a 4-part series, maybe.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is. It's on HBO.
It's really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good show.
I've seen clips. Yeah, it looks really good. He was talking about when they made
Beats.
Hi, my name is Slim Shady.
Yeah.
He said Dre was working on this beat. Within 5 seconds of meeting Dre, he already had lyrics for like the first.
Isn't that the best?
Yeah,
And
dude.
nobody
Right.
thought he should be taking his chance on this white boy from Detroit. What are you doing
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
And lo and behold, man, he's probably one of the best lyricists of all time.
A lot of people don't know MC Juice from Chicago beat him up in a rap battle.
Is that right?
Yeah. Terry knows what's up.
You got to play. Well, what's up, man? Play some of that. What's up?
Oh man, that's a long time ago. And besides, all the raps he used to do in them battles, he put on wax. Like, yeah. Was it?
Get out of here. What was say that again, Terry?
That was 20 years ago today, to be exact.
20 years ago today that Eminem lost to a Chicago MC, man. That's got how many? That's like basically watching Michael Jordan lose, man. And when you think about that, about how high standard Eminem is held for not
There you
only
go.
just all lyricists, but
Eminem versus Juice rap battle freestyle.
oh, we got to
97.
play this, man.
In
In 1997.
a crowd of unsuspecting onlookers witnessed the greatest battle in hip-hop history.
Was just completely stripping me.
Experience never-before-seen bonus.
It's hard to hear.
Yeah, it's not the best production quality song.
No, it's VHS from
What year again is it? What, this 20 years? You said, right, Terry?
97.
97.
Yeah.
Yow.
So you can check this video out on YouTube. Eminem versus Juke rap battle freestyle 1997.
So whatever became of him? I mean, he never
still does music.
Yeah.
You know? He's like Matlock and all those other Chicago rappers.
Underground.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just in
he's
the
got
gutter.
his following. He's still got his following. He's still making his money, I'm sure.
They're just gold in the gutter, man. You know.
Right.
So we got a couple of quick Chicago stories, and we got to take our first music break. We're already running behind. Some human remains were found in the Lincoln Park Zoo. Probably not the best place for people to. Like, what happened? Did somebody get eaten?
Probably.
Police were called to Lincoln Park Lagoon after fishermen had found a duffel bag with human remains inside. Found a second bag with more human remains on Saturday, police had said. Officers were called to the scene just before 11 a.m. when fishermen called 911 after finding a duffel bag with what appeared to be human remains. Marine unit divers and detectives went to the scene, and the officials found a bag with more remains, the second bag, said Frank Giancamillo, a police spokesman. The remains were all believed to be from the same person. So I guess the zoo will be closed this weekend.
For all the remains? Like Metallica said, right?
Yeah.
And the memory remains. La, 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 la.
This guy could have been eaten by a shark or something.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Law and Order episode.
Yeah.
Dun, dun.
This happened because, well, not because, but during the week, I was made aware of this story because I was in the neighborhood. Worker dies after being trapped in a sewer pipe in Streamwood.
Oh.
Firefighters had responded at 6:18 p.m. to the intersection of Park Boulevard and Parkside Circle, where a construction crew was installing lining for a sanitary sewer under Park Avenue, according to Streamwood Fire Department. The firefighters crawled down a 20-inch pipe, and although they could see the workers' boots, they could not reach them in time because a large quantity of the lining had hardened and the material was blocking the pipe. So this guy probably suffocated. Unfortunately, they worked till like 4 a.m. to get this guy out, and when they got him out, he was no longer breathing.
That's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Young guy.
22-year-old man from Gurney.
Yeah.
It was
This
probably
is an awful way to go.
Probably his first real job, too. And they're like, here, get in there head first, and sprayed his stuff on the walls of the pipe. 20-inch pipe. Who goes climbing in there?
Right. Well, hopefully that he's union and he's insured there, right? The family gets a little grieving.
I pray
money.
That there's some sort of resolution financially for him. Chicago's new Apple store dimming lights due to bird deaths.
All those birds.
I heard part of this story on WGN earlier this week. According to the AP, the new Apple store in downtown will dim its lights after complaints from wildlife groups that say its glossy facade is causing deadly bird strikes. The Chicago Tribune reports the Apple spokesman Nick Leahy says the Caparino, California-based company would get the lights down as much as possible overnight starting Friday through the migratory season. This new two-story store with floor-to-ceiling glass along the Chicago River opened on October 20th. Leahy acknowledged the bird strikes, but hasn't been a large number. So I guess the birds are just trying to fly into the building because they think the windows aren't there.
Now, animal advocate groups are actually complaining about this and getting stuff done, and they're listening. Apple's listening, so... Why can't Apple do something underground and kill all these rats, man, that are infesting the city, man? Why can't they do that?
Well, you need a giant store to sell phones.
Or something. Do something, Apple. Take that light that's killing all these birds and kill rats with it, man, or something.
Yeah, clean up Chicago.
It's disgusting, man. I hate rats. I'm scared of rats, man.
All right, so you're checking out the LOERadio Show here at WNUR-FM, Evanston and Chicago. My name is Tim Radicek, your freeform community DJ, and I'm joined with Jay Sal and author and career coach Alex Sukhoy. Our music breaks today consist of kind of darker Halloween type music, and it's only gonna get more intense as we go on. So right now, what do we got here? A little bit of Dazed and Confused by Led Zeppelin. So check this out. We'll be back. It's LOERadio Show at WNUR.
Hi, this is Ron Funch, and you're no, that's not my name. Use this whole thing. This is Ron Funches, and you're listening to Laughs or Else. I don't know what the or else is. I assume it's like crying.
The Laugh or Else radio show has been known to play some music and say some words that could be very well interpreted as inappropriate by some of the more sensitive and younger listeners out there in Radioland. Fortunately for LOE Radio, WNUR-FM finds this type of talk, ideas, and media to be artistically and culturally significant for the greater good of mankind. We are only allowed to broadcast this type of entertainment between a very specific set of hours due to the current indecency tolerance of the faculty, which is, for some arbitrary reason, 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m., rather than the official guidelines drawn up by the FCC regarding safe harbor for all of radio.
Oh, man.
Oh, this one, really, man?
Welcome back. It's LOERadio Radio Show here at WNUR-FM, Evanston in Chicago. I am your free-form community DJ, Tim Radicek. I'm joined in studio with the mixologist, Jay Sal.
We're here.
And author and career coach, Alex Sukhoy.
Hello there.
Welcome back, fellas. Fellas, guys,
and ladies.
Yes.
You know what? This is one of the things about horror movies that I love. I don't mind slasher or anything like that, but when it comes to the paranormal and religious-based horror movies, I'm like a little woman, man. I'm curled up like a little timid woman under the covers with the crucifix in my hand.
That's why The Omen is one of the more frightening films.
Absolutely,
for me.
it is. Absolutely,
The Exorcist.
The Exorcist, everything.
All those psychologically interrupting movies, like.
Not a fan?
I know, I love them.
Okay.
It brings you to a different place.
You know which one still creeps me out, guys, is The Shining.
Oh.
The Shining is, I still remember watching that, and the red rum and the blood down the hallway.
Johnny.
Red rum.
That movie still creeps the hell out of me. I still don't understand.
Well, it's Stanley Kubrick.
Of course, the genius of Stanley Kubrick.
Right.
So can somebody please explain to me how he was in present time and you still saw a picture of him back in the 1920s? I still don't get that. I've asked my friends.
What do you mean? Like, he
remember
looked the
end?
same?
Remember the end and stuff where they show him back in the black and white picture? Alex, you remember this.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The famous last scene in The Shining.
Right,
Yes.
where it shows like that ballroom picture.
And he's in it.
Yeah.
Maybe he was hallucinating everything.
Yeah.
That is that
he
creeps
was
me
dead.
out.
He was dead.
So what was all that then? Was that just hallucination, a dream?
Maybe.
That creeps me out even more, man. That makes me seriously.
Well, a good horror movie leaves it up to the imagination.
Right.
It's the emotions, what you don't see.
And they don't make them like they used to. There's been maybe a few.
Even like in Rosemary's Baby, there's that scene where she's on the bed, and the way the camera's panned out, you don't even see her sitting fully on the bed because they want you to imagine what that emotion is. It's what you don't see.
I finally seen that movie recently.
What'd you think?
It was good.
It's classic, right?
Yeah.
The Omen, all that.
Suspenseful is what it is. It draws you in. It leads you down a path,
And it's not what you expect. I love it that it's this old lovely people in New York.
Yeah, just a dinner party with Satan's baby. That's all.
Right. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah. Just normal people in a nice condo in New York.
Watching the video clips of this video of
it's showing all kinds of things.
Right. That that Linda Blair.
They added that scene with the little pop-out monster.
Right. What is it? Linda Blair, right? Thank you, from The Exorcist. That she actually she had to get counseling after she made this movie.
She was never the same again.
She was never the same
I
again.
can't even watch the clip right now because this movie scares me so much.
Look at the spider walk. I love the spider walk.
What about the poor girl that died from
Poltergeist?
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Well, that's
There was a lot of deaths surrounding those movies.
Wasn't the second one made at what was it, Hancock, was it?
Yes, John Hancock building.
That's right.
The second girl, she had died
pneumonia right after that.
Before the movie was done filming. So
really?
The last 15 minutes, that's not the real young girl in the movie.
Oh, if we're going to do
a sit-in.
Can I make a request, Mr. DJ, sir? Mm-hmm. If you're going to play more Halloween stuff, please play it for one of my all-time probably my favorite cult classic film, 1994's The Crow, starring Brandon Lee.
What do you want to hear?
I want to hear some STP from that. I want to hear some Stone Temple Pilots, man.
We'll have to play that one during the next break.
And talk about making a movie, completing the movie before, after the death of the star.
Yeah, it was only
40
minutes.
That is a 4-star movie, and with editing, and they actually used Keanu Reeves' stunt double, but also the guy that directed him in John Wick. He was basically the body of Brandon Lee of Draven. What is it? Eric Draven? He was the body, and they superimposed Brandon Lee's face onto him. one of my favorite movies of all time. James Owens,
That was a good movie.
The Crow.
So strange
oh my
that the father
God.
and son both died so similarly.
That's it, right? They
What
said
a
it's a
tragic
curse.
Yeah.
What was it from the Brandon Lee story or the Bruce Lee story that it was a curse of all the male figures in that.
Well, Jeff Buckley, he and his father.
Yeah.
Thing.
It's sad, man. It's sad.
Oh man. Yeah, it is sad. Bruce Lee was an amazing
Specimen,
artist.
a specimen, man, is what he
Yeah.
was. Everything. Muhammad Ali said if he got into boxing, he'd be heavyweight champion.
Oh, no doubt. And I like how the UFC game put Bruce Lee in it last year.
Of course it could, man. He's a king.
Yeah, but he's a like kung fu that doesn't really mesh with UFC. Like, all them guys are wrestlers and jiu-jitsu type fighters now.
Right. Well, they want to just crossover appeal, man. They put Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees and Leatherface in the new Mortal Kombat movies. Not movies, the games, rather.
Right.
You know, you can opt to be Jason Voorhees or Leatherface or Freddy Krueger to be fighting, like, Liu Kang.
Right, right. They had Jason, and then they had the Predator, too. Like how does he fit with those two other...
The Predator versus Baraka.
Yeah.
Round one, fight.
Yeah, games have come a long way, man.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
So it's we got a couple of world news stories here to look at. The first one on my radar was an outrageous 4-day vacation that offers guests unlimited sex, drugs, and women. Aside from the Grinches of the naysayers among us, everyone loves a good vacation, right?
Is this a Harvey Weinstein thing?
Maybe. This is his vacation spot.
Is this his new project right here?
It could be.
His DVD distribution?
Yeah, his new... he's got to increase his revenue streams, open that portfolio a little bit.
Right, something's got to pay for the lawyers.
Vacations are supposed to be a time of fun, relaxation, and living it up in the sun. They're a time to have a breakaway from a hard grind of your daily life and to bond with friends or family. Or if you're bold enough, it's time you can spend entirely on your own, well away from the loud and overbearing ways of people you see in your day-to-day life. Let's see, it goes on to say the Good Girls Company have organized an unprecedented 4-day retreat, November 24th through the 27th, for 30 people called Sex Island, on a remote island off the coast of Cartagena in Colombia.
What could go wrong?
Lots.
And if you all movie fans remember, Cartagena, Colombia was the basis of Romancing the Stone, starring Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner.
Jay, you're an encyclopedia.
I'm a nerd. I know this already.
Movies.
Remember the scene with Danny DeVito's there, and he's on the phone with a guy, and he's like, "Where's she with?" She's with a guy. She's like, "I don't know. She's with a guy. She likes guys, just like you, maricon."
Hey, wait. I don't think because you said it in a different language, I don't think you can
fine.
say it.
It's okay. It's
okay. The raunchy Colombian vacation guarantees their guests unlimited access to alcohol and drugs. Incredibly, it has the promise and potential guests.
Is this like Scarface, the Millennial Edition?
Unlimited sex provided by the 60 prostitutes that have been hired for the adult retreat. News of the
Russian ladies.
News of the sex vacation garnered a very polarizing reception from the general public and on the internet. Needless to say, there are a lot of people who welcome the revolutionary and undeniably liberating kind of vacation that Good Girls Company is offering. However, upon the release, the company's promotional videos have received a serious amount of backlash, so much so that they were flagged and even taken off of YouTube. So it's probably because there's a lot of scantily clad or half-naked peoples in your videos.
Right.
YouTube's becoming a bad place as well.
Yeah, I'm not paying for YouTube, man.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for it. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, and it's going to go subscription-based.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, they're just waiting for it.
There was a blast in Mogadishu that had killed a number of people and innocent civilians. We've got a video clip here, so I don't have to read anymore, thank God. Assuming it's going to play, which I doubt it will.
You play now.
You play now?
You play now.
Maybe tomorrow? All right. Well, CNN, thanks for your outstanding... there we go.
Tragedy unfolded on Saturday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It bears all the hallmarks of the terror organization Al-Shabaab. They haven't claimed responsibility, I must stress that, but every indication are that this was a truck that was loaded with explosives, including cooking gas, and that's why you saw such a conflagration, such a incendiary effect on bodies badly burned, an entire hotel, the Safari Hotel, collapsed, and the force of the blast has been the worst that Somalia has seen in 10 years of fighting anti-terrorism efforts and of fighting Al-Shabaab. It is by far the worst tragedy. And of course, as I'm speaking to you, Natalie, bodies are still being removed. Yesterday, they had mass burials for the victims. They're carrying on those mass burials. And of course, they have 3 days of national mourning. And we wait to see who was responsible. But it is by far the deadliest bomb attack in Somalia's history.
Oh, man.
Why would
horrible.
somebody like Somalia, why make Somalia a target? There's poor people there. There's nothing to gain by blowing things up there.
There's just a lot of violent people out there. They just don't care.
Yeah.
They have no value for human life.
A lot of awful people out there. And here's an example of another one. Emoji Movie audience member accused of pleasuring himself, ticketed by police. Ticketed? He should have been thrashed within inches of his life. According to whatever goofy website this is, suspect was cited for lewdness. A New Jersey man accused of pleasuring himself in a public theater while watching the Emoji Movie because the movie's so bad he had to do something else.
I can attest to that. I just started that the other night from Redbox.
No, you didn't.
I swear
Why
to
would you rent it?
Because I am a nerd, again, when it comes to those cartoon movies with the celebrity voices. And there's a few actors that I love in that movie, but it was bad. It was a bad movie.
There's a channel on YouTube called Film Theory, and they proposed that this movie's so bad it's illegal.
It was really bad. I literally, like, the ending was just like, wow, I can't believe I paid $1.50 and I didn't even return it on time.
To watch a $3 movie. Commercial for Candy Crush.
A $3, yes, that's exactly what it was. They promoted the heck out of anything having to do with
Twitter,
your phone.
Instagram.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, up until now, The Room was considered the worst movie ever, and now they're making a movie about the movie, The Room.
Yeah, about how
The
bad
Room
the
with Brie Olsen?
Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Which
They're
one is that
remaking it with those goons that do all the movies together. What's his name?
Which room? Because the room that I know has got Brie Olsen in it.
Why are you tearing me apart, Lisa? It's the worst movie ever made, Jay.
This one I don't know. I don't know.
I'm surprised you didn't rent it from Redbox when it came out.
Well, I haven't. I don't even know what movie you're talking to.
The Encyclopedia of
The
Movies.
original The Room from 2003.
Okay.
With Tommy Wiseau and
Tommy Wiseau.
a bunch of people I've never heard of
It's
before.
the worst. Jay, you got to watch it. It's
I
the
do?
worst thing ever.
All right. Well, I'm notorious for watching bad movies, so I might have to tune it in.
This is like purposely bad, though. It's just bad acting. Tommy Wiseau's the worst.
But they're making a movie about the worst movie ever.
Right, which makes no sense. And I won't see either movie again. Parnes, the incident occurred last Friday when Abraham Parnes, 43, had his hands down his unzipped pants.
Is there an emoji for that?
Unzip, yeah, like the two zipper things. While sitting in the back row of the theater, Parnes was spotted allegedly touching himself by a mother who was seeing the film with her children. She should be punished for taking her kids.
Right, those kids already suffered enough.
Yeah. Ann Tunez said she informed the manager that what was going on when Parnes was kicked out. Police were called shortly thereafter. Parnes turned himself into the police Thursday night. Tunez said he was cited for lewdness and was released. So, I mean, you can just go fondle your junk in public and just, spend a few hours talking to police. Apparently,
I saw a man do that on the L once in Chicago.
Just once? Just once?
Just once.
I've seen it numerous times.
Lucky you.
Yeah, lucky me. You stabbed my eyes out.
Yeah, right.
Florida man arrested after police mistook Krispy Kreme glaze for meth.
All right.
Receives $37,000 settlement, according to Fox.
Sounds like a Walter White thing.
Yeah. According to Fox News, a man who was arrested by police mistook the glaze of the Krispy Kreme donuts on his passenger seat for crystal meth and has received a $37,000 settlement. Daniel Rushing, 64, a 64-year-old guy, and they're thinking he's on meth.
Right.
Sued the city of Orlando after he was arrested in December of 2015 on drug charges. Law enforcement had spotted 4 small flakes of glaze on his floorboard and thought they were pieces of crystal methamphetamine. Rushing told the officers it was likely bits of his donuts that he'd eaten earlier, but he was arrested for possession of methamphetamine after 2 roadside drug tests tested positive for an illegal substance. Boy, either Krispy Kremes are made of crack, or
they're addictive,
or police tests are oversensitive.
That sounds like that would happen to me sometime. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, sir, I'm not high. I'm just fat. I'm just hungry. The munchies. I'm sorry.
It's just lettuce.
You guys ever hear the Gabriel Iglesias? The fat and fluffy comedian.
Yeah.
He has a good bit on it. He's like driving so excited with his box of donuts next to him from Krispy Kreme. He gets pulled over by the cop. He's like, you know why I pulled you over, right, son? He's like, you could smell it.
Oh, no. I couldn't believe it, Rushing told the Orlando Sentinel. I've never even smoked a cigarette before, let alone crystal meth. Weeks later, State Crime Lab cleared Rushing of the drug allegations, and charges against him were dropped. Wow, man. That should be worth more than $37,000.
He's a healthy man. Doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs, but he loves his Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
He's also probably a diabetic and is probably going to be going through nerve pain soon. So
I posted this article earlier this week. It's one of the untimely stories of this week. It's kind of horrifying, actually, if you listen to the details.
There are signs up everywhere, but no sign of 3-year-old Sharon Matthews anywhere.
When was the last time she was actually seen, by whom, and where?
Right now, Richardson police are working off what the girl's father told them Saturday morning, that Wesley Matthews placed little Sharon outside at 3 a.m. behind the back fence of the family home because she refused to drink her milk, and that when he went back outside 15 minutes later, the girl was gone.
And you wait 5 more hours before you call the police? Yeah, that's not something that you would think a normal person would do. And so that's a big red flag.
That was enough to land Matthews in jail for child endangerment, but he is free tonight on bond. There was no sign of the family at their home on Monday, but Child Protective Services confirmed to News 8 they have had contact with the Matthews family in the past, and that this morning they took the couple's oldest daughter and placed her in foster care.
Good.
We also know the FBI is helping Richardson police sift through seized computers and cell phones from inside the house, along with the family's vehicles, for any potential evidence that could lead them to little Sharon.
There's such radio silence everywhere.
After 2 days of ground and air search in and around the Richland Meadows subdivision, neighbors today noticing a much more subdued scene around the family's home, only adding to their concern.
Kids surviving in the wilderness for X amount of time, but it just seems like the odds are stacked up against her.
Richardson police know that too, and understand it's possible that what Wesley Matthews has told detectives so far on how Sharon disappeared may not be true.
The same issues that the people see at face value, we see as well.
It's a tragic story, and I heard
horrible.
a follow-up that when the father was questioned by police what he suspected happened to her, his response was that there's been coyote sightings lately.
Oh, that makes it much more comforting, huh, to sleep at night.
Is there a mother in the story, or just...
I don't know, man. That guy needs his head examined.
This is why, children are a blessing, man. I don't have any, but I know that children are a blessing. This is why certain people should probably have a license to breed. I'm sorry, man. This is horrible,
kind of
man.
Stuff that makes me stay up at night.
Right. This is terrible. How can you? And there was one story, and I know we're not going to touch on it, Timmer, but the couple that the kid was rotting in the swing in Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
You heard about that?
Man, yeah.
I know. I'm sorry.
It is.
I don't want to hear about that.
It's as bad. It's as bad, man. It's so bad. There's so many bad people out there.
I was reading about that earlier. I'm surprised I didn't add that to the list.
Yeah, it's my God. It's like gut wrenching material. How can people even have that in them to be these monsters and have an innocent kid involved?
Finally, before we go to break, morning news crew decides they're going to try the one-chip Carolina Reaper challenge. And it goes about as swimmingly as you'd expect. Let's listen in.
This was a friend of mine's idea, Tracy.
Uh-huh.
She had one of these, and she goes, would you like to do the one-chip challenge?
What did she say about it?
She hasn't tried it.
Great idea.
They do.
Yeah.
There's
one chip.
Challenge. So,
So what is the one-chip challenge?
We are putting just one chip, and you eat it.
First it
That's the
says,
challenge.
any last words
Okay.
before you eat it?
It's made with
What's
ghost
so
pepper.
special about this chip?
Yeah, what's
It's
in it?
the hottest pepper in the world.
Not
We
anymore.
have
They've made a
decoy guy
pepper
who
that's like
explains
10 times
exactly what we're
hotter.
gonna do.
What is this? It's poison. Don't eat it.
Speech
Why are
followed
these
by
5 people
extreme
eating it?
profanity, heavy breathing, enhanced sinus functions, and
Lord.
impaired
What the
vision
hell
from
is going on
heat-induced tears.
Where the hell is that audio coming from?
Hear the Reaper and consider yourself warned. We're going to eat this.
Oh, it's their little news thing.
Those were words
By
right
the
from
way,
the inside of the box.
Ernie saw this packaging and it wasn't quite sure it was a tortilla chip inside.
Look, it's got with a picture of a Reaper on it.
Ernie.
It says Carolina Reaper pepper.
Yeah,
That's
it's the
what kind
ghost
of
for
pepper
Halloween.
it is?
But we were
Yeah.
promised milk.
Ghost pepper?
Perfect to end your evening.
Some sea salt.
This is a morning show, too. They got to survive the rest of the day.
Okay, ready?
By the way, we're also
Who's
doing
going
this.
first?
Who's doing yours? Where's yours?
Don't
Chris?
take your
sharing.
contacts out after you do
Ernie Bjorkman's doing it.
Don't touch your eyes after you eat this thing.
It's not a tiny bite challenge.
Oh,
it's a
my
one
goodness.
chip challenge.
So this is like their version of the Channel 9 News, right? Pat Tomasulo and cast of characters. You're so wacky.
I look at
Oh,
Here she
come
goes.
on,
Here she
you
goes.
guys are overreacting.
She's starting to gag. She's starting to gag.
Did you eat the whole chip?
Yeah, I had the whole chip. That's why it's called a chip challenge.
This guy's already eaten one before.
I've got
I'm sure.
hiccups now. I get hiccups when I
She's going to try to drink coffee. Not a good idea.
Here she goes. Watch.
Here's a good thing.
There she goes. There she goes.
Natalie threw up.
She power booted.
Very poorly.
That's how
folks.
careers end.
Clean up aisle. Someone get her help, please. She needs help seriously.
You're a doctor. Get
These
down
guys
here.
are all just like talking
All right,
smack.
let's go to break. When we come back, we'll get Natalie together. This is some serious action.
I wonder if they
We'll
gave
come
her
right
the
back.
worst chip.
She really did.
Yeah, I don't think you can really tell. It's just like one in a package. So what do you guys think? After the break, we'll do the one chip challenge.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I got food from work if anybody's hungry.
No, I'm
Chicken
starving.
sandwich. Good.
So we're gonna take our final music break and then head into sports after that.
Can I give a shout out to my friend in California?
Absolutely.
Hey, Melanie Kleinhofer in La Jolla, California. Thanks for listening.
Who wants? She was gonna call. She should have. We could have made some room for her. But all she wanted to talk was politics, so she couldn't think of nothing else. Unfortunately,
We'll think of something else.
Yeah. So if you got any tweets you want us to read or something, we'll happily throw them up there for you. But like I said, this is the LOERadio Show here at WNUR-FM, Evanston, and Chicago. Stay with us. We're going to continue our little Halloween music selection here with a Dio cover. This one's called Kill the King. Check it out.
Hey, this is Big J. Okerson, and you're listening. It's hilarious. Hey, this is Big J. Okerson, and you're listening to Laugh or Else Radio. I don't know what the else is, but I'm looking at this guy, and it's probably involving butt stuff.
Laugh or Else Radio Show has been known to play some music and say some words that could be very well interpreted as inappropriate by some of the more sensitive and younger listeners out there in radio land. Fortunately for LOE Radio, WNUR-FM finds this type of talk, ideas, and media to be artistically and culturally significant for the greater good of mankind. We are only allowed to broadcast this type of entertainment between a very specific set of hours due to the current indecency tolerance of the faculty, which is, for some arbitrary reason, 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m., rather than the official guidelines drawn up by the FCC regarding safe harbor for all of radio.
Yes, the tension rises as we welcome you back to the Laugh or Else Radio Show here at WNUR-FM, Evanston, and Chicago. We are rounding third base and on our way home. And I'm joined in studio with the legendary mixologist Jay Sell.
That's
and
right.
Career coach and author Alex Sukhoy. I don't know if we got you going. Try
Let's
that one
see.
more time.
Hello, hello.
There
Yes,
you
much
are.
better,
Testing,
much better.
testing.
Okay, I thought you were the phone, and the phone is ringing,
Hey,
Jay.
hey.
Why don't you check that out while we talk
I will.
a little bit of sports, shall we? The Cubbies are no longer in the World Series run as the Astros and the Dodgers have reached Game 4, pivotal Game 4 here in the World Series. They played earlier today, and the Dodgers came out on top with the score of 6-2, tying the series at 2 games apiece. Jay, what's happening over there?
We have a caller. We have actually our in-studio guest, Alex, his friend from California.
Oh, boy. She wants to call and talk sports now?
If she wants, she can call anything. Well, actually, her home LA team is actually involved, so let's see if we can cure her up.
Nice. Caller, you're on the air. It's WNUR.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Melanie.
It's Melanie.
Melanie, welcome to the Laugh or Else Radio Show.
From San Diego. And hi, Alex.
Hey.
Woohoo.
Skokie girls making it happen.
You're originally from Skokie, are you?
I am originally. I've been gone for a long time, though, since 92.
Most excellent. What made you leave?
The weather.
It's cold right now.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had snow this morning, Melanie. Snow.
Yeah, it's a brisk 36 degrees out
That's
there.
no joke.
Is it 36 degrees there right now?
Yes.
Right now.
It's
Oh, and I have my fans on and my windows open. It's been in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, well, thank you for rubbing it in.
Yeah, please continue.
We're all huddled up and hugging together. There's no heat in the studio either. We're all just holding each other.
So you guys are sticking close together.
We're bonding, yes.
So Melanie, are you a Dodgers fan?
I'm not, but I'm not allowed to talk politics apparently, which is all I have on my mind. But I will tell you that I thought about something else. So I don't know if you'll let me broach it. But
Hey, we've got about 8 minutes here, so let it rip.
The Houston Texans owner, Bob McNair,
Mhm.
who said we can't have inmates running the prison.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thoughts on that?
My thoughts, Jay. You're more of a sports guy.
You know what? It's kind of hypocritical for them to say that when the NFL is, very much within
Nothing but criminals.
Nothing but criminals, basically, from the owners all the way down to the player and personnel. So he's one to talk, especially when you're glorifying a sport that's very violent and a violent mentality, which actually leads to more domestic violence cases than any other sport, the
Sure.
Big Four. And you're going to go ahead and say just because they don't want to do what you want to do. I'm all for expressing yourself and being able to go ahead and give your opinion, whatever it may be. But I don't agree at all with him being hypocritical in that sense. So yeah, I'm not buying it.
Jay's
I'm not buying it either.
Good.
That's what I had for you guys. I just want to call and say hi and give Alex
Well,
a shout out. And thanks for giving me a shout out.
Thank you for calling from sunny California.
Thanks
Enjoy
for
that weather.
listening.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
listening.
you.
Absolutely.
We love the West Coast. Viva San Diego.
Hey, great show. I've really enjoyed listening to it tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very
Melanie.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Fun stuff. You guys are all over the place, which is really
Yes,
awesome.
we are. Yes, we are.
I'm just trying to keep up here with
This
the
happens when
gentleman.
we're holding each other for 2 hours. We have nothing else to talk about. So,
Yeah.
luckily, we all showered here.
This
At least
is-
they did.
Yeah, it's volunteer radio, so we're not really getting paid for this. So.
No.
Yeah, so
Well,
no heat.
We appreciate you calling, Melanie, and anytime you're welcome to call back, and we'll get into some politics. I promise next time.
No worries. Have a good time. Great job.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, bye.
So, callers, awesome.
Yes.
I appreciate the calls
From California.
Yeah, especially
On the West
She must be
Coast.
listening on the interwebs.
On the
How cool is
interwebs.
that?
Very cool.
Epic.
And hey, can I give a shout out to some of my friends today?
Yes.
Absolutely.
They are celebrating their 22nd wedding anniversary.
Oh, my.
Happy
Nona
anniversary.
and
Happy
Oleg.
anniversary.
Woo!
Nona and who? I'm sorry?
And Oleg.
Oleg?
Yes.
Wow, he sounds tough.
And I introduced them. Well, actually, my ex introduced him. It was his idea, but we got him introduced. And so, they met in 1993.
And they got married in 1995. 1995 was a strange period.
Very
Bill
nice.
Clinton was in office. We got a little tax refund for being single.
We did, didn't we? We
The
got
Chi-
that extra $300
the
check.
I
Chicago-
forgot about that.
Yeah,
oh,
the
you know what? Because I was married during that time.
And
Well,
besides-
I
I
appreciated
missed
it.
out on that.
I only got like half of that because I think I had some credit issues on my.
I was valet parking at a casino in the suburbs, and it was hot, like monstrously deadly hot for 4 days in a row.
Like Satan's balls.
Right there, yeah. Like Satan's balls in the undercarriage right there. It was literally 100 degrees for like 4 days in a row. It was horrible.
Yeah, but that $300,
That felt
made
good.
all the
That
difference.
cooled it off.
We were all like, "Man, Bill, you're the best."
He's like, I feel your pain, single people. I feel your pain.
It's so nostalgic. Like, AOL Instant Messenger just went off, like, after
Yeah.
20 years,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
remember chat rooms?
Age, sex, location, please.
I still have that. I still have AOL. I
Yeah.
open it up and it's like,
You've got
welcome.
mail.
You have hate mail.
You've got spam.
That's right.
I mean, that was just such the wild, wild west of, everything that we're doing technologically. Like, right here in the studio right now, Jay and I are Instagramming and Facebooking and tweeting and taking
Yeah.
pictures and all that. And if you think about it, 20 years ago, nobody could get through to us on the phone because it was
Right.
dial-up. And we have these expensive phone bills and these free discs from AOL. And it was
Remember all those
wild,
discs?
Wild West.
Yeah.
I remember stories about people returning those discs like in a bundle, saying, "Here's all these damn discs back. I don't want them."
I think that's a Seinfeld episode where
Yeah.
Kramer returns the Pottery Barn catalogs. I think you got your 90s references a little mixed up
maybe,
there.
but it's fun stuff either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love Seinfeld.
Love Seinfeld. These
What?
pretzels are making me thirsty.
Are you gentlemen watching Curb Your Enthusiasm
Of course,
right
of
now?
course,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
dude.
Larry David's king.
Yeah.
Of course
The
I
Salman
am.
Rushdie episode was epic.
That was the best.
That was-
what is it? What is the
You're
thing
a
that he
dangerous
has?
man.
No, what is the thing that he has placed upon him by the Muslim? What is it? What is it called? The act, the thing that he has on him. Remember that? Because
Yes.
even
I don't remember.
what's
the
her name?
Of it.
The pretty Elizabeth
Banks.
Banks has a thing for him in that one.
Right.
And
But
his
that-
ex is with Ted Danson. Yeah.
Right, but that whole episode, and then when he's in the court,
Yeah.
and the judge is like, "You're in the bell of the court." I thought it was one of the funniest things I've seen on television. I didn't even look at my iPhone during that
Yeah.
episode. That's how funny it was.
Wow.
And of
That's
course,
how-
his housemate JB Schmoove is still the best. Man.
JB Schmoove, yeah.
He's like constipated. What you talking about constipated? She showing man, I shot a porno constipated, man.
He's like, "You can't move. The ladies know this address."
Make sure you check it out.
A fatwa. I think that's
That's
what it.
it. The fatwa.
That's what it was.
Fatwa.
Right.
Excellent. So if you're not up to date on your Curb lingo, make sure you go check out that. But it is that time for us to call it an evening or a morning. You've been checking out the LOERadio Show here at WNUR-FM, Evanston and Chicago. We always try to post replays and highlights of our shows on the YouTube. You can find us by using the hashtag LOERadio. You can also get at us on Twitter using the same hashtag. We also have a Facebook page, the LOERadio Show fan page on Facebook. And Jay, what else you got going on?
Oh, that's pretty much it, Timmer. We'll be a little bit better prepared next time. Actually, I got a couple friends of mine that are MCs that want to come over here and share their musical talent. If it's okay with you.
Anytime.
And that's pretty much it. Just following up on these Bears that are surprising us. That should be 4-3 instead of 3-4.
The New Orleans Saints
right
tomorrow.
The Blackhawks are still doing their thing. The Chicago Bulls absolutely
Hawks
suck.
lost today 6-2 to the Avalanche.
The Bulls barely beat the Atlanta Hawks, I think, a couple days ago.
Who's going to win the NBA championship?
Not the Bulls. But
it's going to be still Cleveland, and it's going to be Cleveland, and still going to be Golden State in the finals.
But Markkanen's making a big impression in his first couple of games. Bulls look exciting this year.
He looks great. The rookie looks great.
I'd also like to thank author and career coach Alex Sukhoy for joining us in studio today.
Thank you for having me.
You can check out her stuff at creativecadence.com. You can also check out her latest book, Date Your Career, Longest Relationship of Your Life. You can also find her stuff on Amazon.com. Anything else you'd like to plug, Alex?
Just happy, healthy, and safe Halloween to everybody.
Thank
keep
you.
it safe. Have fun.
So
but keep it safe.
Where can people get in contact with you, and anything you can share with them?
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, my website, but Amazon's where the book is at, and you could always reach out to me through that, or 216-410-3825, and I promise I will always give you direct advice.
Was that your cell phone number you just gave
It's
out?
my business. It's my business number. It's my business number.
All right. So make sure you get out there and let Alex know that she's doing a fantastic job.
As always.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
And to play us out, we're going to have the Big Empty from Stone Temple Pilots, the live unplugged version.
Yeah. R.I.P. Scott Weiland.
Check it out. Happy Thanksgiving.
called Big Empty.
Or Happy Halloween.
Gobble, gobble.